Hi everybody, thanks for taking some time tonight to come and listen to us talk about kind of some senior year overview planning. I see a lot of junior families and students too, so I think that's incredible that you guys are here, just trying to get this information early so you can start that much sooner, or at least make yourself aware of what you need to know in a year from now. But real quick introductions, I'm Melissa Firm. I'm the EMTNR Academy Counselor. So if your student is in the EMTNR Academy, they get to work with me. So don't forget to remind them, like, just go talk to Firm, or you as parents too, reach out to me too if you have questions. And then also with me tonight is Carrie Ernest, AAHS Academy Counselor. And so hopefully you guys can all walk out of here tonight with just a little bit of information, or a lot of information that you get to go home and digest and have a handful of dinner conversations starters from what you're taking away tonight. So we just again want to go over some general tidbits of information as you start planning throughout your student's year. The senior year, the exciting year. And so some pieces that we just want to highlight is kind of like the school year as a whole. So it seems to be that the seasons or the months kind of have some themes. And so right now, September, October, November, December is really when we want our students to start kind of exploring and shopping around. So these are really just checking out those college campuses if you haven't already. Getting in to see your school counselor, setting up a senior parent meeting. So for those of you senior parents, I said senior parent meeting, but senior student meeting. But for those of you senior parents, go home and ask your student if they've set that up yet. And if not, encourage them to do so. Throughout these meetings, they learn a lot of what we'll talk about tonight. But then they work with us to take some action steps as well. Talk about goals and kind of just small steps to get to those goals throughout the school year. Oh yes, thank you. And I want to circle back to our website too. So this packet I have here is what we sit down with students with, and that senior student packet is all accessible from our college and career website. So if you go to AAHS, hover over College and Career Center, click on it, and it's just right on that left senior planning guide. It has all the resources and then some, as well as live links to certain sites that students will want to access, and you as families and parents will want to access to. One in particular might be that FAFSA, or that financial aid. There's links on our student senior planning guide. One thing that we want to highlight is that there are some changes that are happening with the FAFSA. And so it used to be accessible to parents to start applying for financial aid beginning in October. They have made some changes, so they are not actually going to be accessible until December. So in past years, a lot of information would be about FAFSA and financial aid on these nights, but we are going to just have more information coming to you. But our website really is a great resource for you to check out, and I think we'll get into some further information in a little bit. So. Other just senior year calendar items is making sure that you guys are talking about and checking out our scholarship pages, and big pieces at the end of the year are requesting transcripts. So those are some things too that we're going to show you quick how-tos as we move on through this tonight.
All right, another talking point that we go through with some students in the senior planning meeting is MCIS, and it's Minnesota Career Information Systems. This is a site that we introduced to students as ninth graders in their advisory period. lots and lots of information on here. Students can create their own profile in here and save information. So sometimes our senior meeting is more about, I don't have a clue what I want to do, I don't know what I'm interested in. We might pull this up and we may go back to some of those interest inventories that students have done, walk through that, and maybe that's a 2 or 3 or 4 time senior meeting. It takes a while sometimes with that, but this is a really great site. Again, students maybe are touching just a teeny tiny part of it in their advisory period, but if we're using this with students, we're able to dig in a little bit deeper. So if you're student or students in here, if you are not sure what life brings you after high school, that's okay. But this is a really great resource. So if you're not exactly sure how to dive super deep into it, find your academy counselor and we can go through that. But this is really great. It goes through, if you click on education, Melissa, on the top green. This I can search for schools. I can search a program of study. So I was an elementary education major way back when. I could pull up programs of study. I could learn about that major in college. I could learn about what classes would be really helpful as I'm finishing out my junior or senior year of high school. I could find out what colleges may be super near me or really far away offer programming in elementary education. So it is a nice tool. It's a nice resource to use as you're digging into that. There are all kinds of other things. You can search careers. It'll show videos on there. Again, it'll show what skills might you need in that career area. What classes, again, would be really helpful to take in that. So just a resource, and you would be able to access that on our senior planning guide too. And students all have their username and password that they've had in there. And maybe they even have a ton of information in there. Maybe. Nobody said yes, but maybe. Right. Okay, so again, another thing, I've had a number of students say, Carrie, I don't know how I set up a tour with a college, or my parents and I are going to go over MEA, but I'm not sure how to set that up. It's a lot easier, I think, than it used to be, but I kind of go the generic search method sometimes. So Melissa has Minnesota State University Moorhead up here. Sometimes if I don't really know what I'm searching for, I'll do generic searches like college visit or something. But Melissa pulled this one up and scrolled to the bottom here, and it says campus visit. I would say most colleges, when you go on that main page, has something about a college visit. So if you're interested in doing that, you can do that. So if Melissa clicks on that Monday through Thursday college visit, she's going to scroll down and you can just click right in there and you can sign up for a college visit on there, okay? So sometimes places have free applications if you go to a college visit, but many colleges like Moorhead also have free application months. So students, if you haven't applied to a college and you're interested, this might be the month to do that. Not all colleges have that. That was sent out a week ago Sunday. I think that information was shared with both students and parents. But if you're looking to do a college visit, we have MEA coming up in just a couple days. So if you're interested in that, you might want to check it out. Some may be full already, but that's a great place to go and just start to go and be on the campus. Students, you'll get a feel. I was talking with the student today and said, I didn't like it. I just got a feeling about it and I didn't like it. I said, that's great. That's exactly what you want. If you don't like it, you probably don't want to spend 1 or 2 or 4 years there, however long you're planning to be there. But being on campus is super helpful. Drive around, get into a classroom, see the dorms. If you're going to live in the dorms, that's a big thing too. So go and visit all the things. Go and do a student life thing. If they have an activity going on, it's your community for whatever length of time you're there. So those are all really important things. But just in general, you should be able to find a way to set up a tour right on the campus webpage. All right, so back in our senior planning guide, this is, just as Melissa's here, this is our College and Career Center page. And again, when I've been meeting with students, I say like, this is your hub for the year. This is your hopefully your one-stop shop, and for parents or guardians out there, this is a great spot to know, okay? So again, things we're looking at and that I go through with students all the time, that scholarship page, the little cursor is right on the requesting transcript. Students need to have a transcript to go to college or to apply. Are you going there? Okay, so since we're there, all students will need to create an account. It's called a parchment account. So this is how they can access their high school transcript, okay? So students were shown this in advisory period in September, okay? And I think most probably did that at that point in time, but it's pretty easy. I think the big thing to know is you have to use your AAHS School's email, okay? And I would say write this down someplace, write your password down. We have requests from students who are in their freshman year of college and they say, my transcript never went through, or I forgot to send my transcript, but I can't get in because I don't have an AAHS School's email anymore. So save your password, save those things so that you can get back in and do recreate your username or something. But this is what you'll have to do. So generally speaking, students need to send a transcript with their application, okay? Many students are using something called the Common Application. And with that, the counselor of their academy would upload a transcript, but just in general, students need to have a transcript that goes along with their application, okay? And then at the very end of the school year or early summer, students need to send a final transcript. College or university that you're planning to attend needs to see that final transcript. They need to see the stamp of approval that you've graduated. Typically, they need that in order for you to register for your classes. So another important thing to jot down. This will also be a reminder that comes out through advisory period. So I think I've said advisory period, I don't know, 4 or 5 times now. So there will be very important things, especially as a senior, with some of those key reminders in advisory period. So we do remind students on those really important things. So another thing, if students are taking college classes while in high school, so you might see it on a college application called dual or concurrent enrollment. It's one and the same. It's just saying you're earning high school and college credit at the same time. But if you're taking those college classes, the high school transcript only gives you high school credit. So you have to request and send your college transcript to your end college, so wherever you are planning to go. I usually tell students to not send this with their high school transcript right away to the college they're applying to, because you have to pay for it. And colleges aren't accepting you as a college student right away, they're accepting you as a high school student, okay? So, but every college that we partner with and offer dual credit for, they're all linked there in red. So we partner with Southwest Minnesota State University, we partner with Alec Tech, with Central Lakes College, and I missed one. St. Cloud State, our language classes are through St. Cloud State. They're all linked in there, and when you click on that, you're going to get into the National Clearinghouse for transcripts, okay? But it'll take you right there, and it's gonna walk you through every step what to do. You do have to pay for these, okay? I don't even know how much, some are like $12, $15 maybe, and if you're doing it times 4 colleges, yes, it adds up. But if you take and look at the price of 3 college credits, $12 is pretty good. So that's there too. We will also remind students of this in the spring of the year through advisory period. Oh, yes, MnSCU schools. So all of the colleges that we have up here and that we partner with are through the MnSCU, which is Minnesota State Colleges and Universities. So if you are a student who is going to a Minnesota State College or University like Moorhead or Alec Tech or Winona or M-State and Fergus, they are all part of the MnSCU system, and they would already have access to your college transcript, okay? So we usually leave it really loose, just so everybody gets their college transcript sent, but if you know for sure that your final destination is through the MnSCU system, you should not have to send your college transcripts, okay? But in general, I'm gonna say make sure your college transcripts get to your end college. Okay, so since we were just talking about college credit, you probably want to know if the credit is going to transfer, okay? So all of the college credits, I shouldn't say all, the majority of the college credits that we offer are part of the Minnesota transfer system, the general credits, okay? We've had really great success with the college credits transferring to obviously the MnSCU colleges, but also the private colleges, the North Dakota system, a lot in the Wisconsin system too, South Dakota. But I always tell kids, I said, I'm not the expert for each college, I don't work at each college, and I can never guarantee you credit for each college, okay? But there are systems in place that can walk you through that. One of those is transferology. So, Melissa's gonna go in here. We'll get logged in here. So transferology is a place where you would enter the school name. So Melissa could put down that she took classes in our building through Alexandria Technical and Community College. And then the when she took it, that doesn't matter. You can just leave that. And then she's gonna find the department. So if you're not sure what your department is, you could go back to that senior planning guide where we have all of our colleges listed right here. So if you're looking on the right-hand column where it says college courses, yep, move over to the right. So if you go to the English one of the English ones down there, there you go, keep moving over. Right there. We'll go with the Comp 1. A number of our students choose to take College Composition 1. So on the College Comp 1, the ENGL, that's your department. English is the department. The number right next to it is the course number, Comp 1, class name, and then it tells you the amount of credits, and then the ATCC is the college, okay? So if you don't know where it's from, you can refer to that. So Melissa would pull up that English and she would say that she's taken Comp 1, so she would add that in. And then and we already had that, so once she's got all of her classes in, she can go to search for matches. And then when all of that comes up with our classes, it's gonna show us a long list of colleges that are part of the transferology system. Not every college is part of this system, okay? And we'll show you one other one here. But she's gonna be able to see that all of the classes that she put down here, many of them are a 100% match, okay? Some are a 96 match, some are 93, some get down to a way lower match level. So what that's saying is they're accepting all or some of the college credits that students have taken throughout their time at Alexandria Area High School, okay? So if Melissa clicked on, scroll down and let's do it, go to the Iowa State one, just for fun. Okay, so if she clicks on Iowa State, she's gonna see the classes. So let's look at this one, the Intro to Computers. Right here, you see that little I on there, and that's gonna give us more information. So if she clicks on that, it's gonna tell how it transfers in there, okay? The other thing you're going to notice right below that is general psychology. It's gonna say that the college general psychology course that you took here through Alec Tech is going to transfer on their campus as Psych 101, okay? So maybe that counts as a general class that you would have had to take in. Maybe it counts as even a beginner class in the college major that you're choosing, or maybe it transfers as an elective, okay? So this is a really great tool and resource for kids to use and get started with. Depending on where kids are at, sometimes we'll take this information and then we'll try and go and we'll search a college page and say, let's see what your plan would actually look like. What classes would you have to take, and let's see how many we would cross off of the classes that you've taken. Okay, so this is a great resource, a great tool to use on there. Let's go to the NDSU one, I think, right next to it. So NDSU uses a different system. It's called Transfer Evaluation System. Same concept, just a different system. And some don't use either one of these. So if some colleges don't do that, they may ask you to just send information on the college classes you've taken. Melissa, will you go back to that, our planning guide? If there isn't a system that colleges use that's readily available on their website, I always go through with students and we highlight the college classes that they've taken or are currently taking or will be taking. And then I say, take a picture and send an email, okay? And then the college can review that and find out within their system, how would the college credits transfer, okay? You may run across a college that only accepts 6 credits or it only accepts 12 credits. So I tell students too, that's part of your decision making. If you go in wanting every college class to transfer that you've taken here, maybe that's not the college for you. Or if you're taking the college classes, whether or not they transfer or not, you just have to weigh all of that out. But it is a good resource to be able to look and find out how credits transfer. Another thing I tell students a lot is for some, the credits will transfer. When I'm working with students, some students may have taken 12 college credits and some may have taken up to 40 college credits. It doesn't matter. And first and foremost, the college credit is not a have to in the high school, okay? We're high school first, college credit comes when students are ready and when they want to take it. But point being, in that, now I lost my train of thought, I'm gonna think through this. The college credit, what was I just saying? Oh, thank you, the amount. Some students are gonna get to that number. If you're up on the high 20s, low 30s, in terms of college credit in years, maybe you've completed an equivalent of roughly 1 year of college, okay? For some, they may say, gosh, I could maybe graduate from college in 3 years, maybe. Or maybe that allows me some more time to add a double major or to add that minor I'm kind of interested in too, okay? So when we're doing this, please know that everybody's different in how they do it. It doesn't mean that we're saying take every college credit so you can get out of college in 1 year or 2 years. It varies by student, okay? So it's super important to just pay attention to this and talk to the college, talk to the admission reps there and find out how can you use this as a little bit of leverage to get some things figured out. If you're a student that is undecided and you have a number of college credits, this is probably a really great gain for if you have a number of those college credits. It may give you some time in your freshman year to explore a couple different options if you're going in as an undeclared or an undecided student. So again, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're pushing for everybody to be out of college in 2 years, but it is important to know if you're taking these, how it might transfer. Okay, back to the NDSU page. And we're not pushing any colleges. We kind of went with the ones we see a lot and that are fairly easy to use. So the TES, the Transfer Evaluation System, is another guide here. So you see the alphabetical index there. So if Melissa clicks on the A's, which she's there, she can go down to Alexandria Technical and Community College, which again we partner with for a number of our college credits. So if she clicks on Alec Tech, she's going to find the classes. And let's see if there's go to the second or third page, maybe we'll see if we can get to English. So when she gets to, or go to public speaking is up there if you're, just go to the, okay, public speaking is here, so she could go over and click the box right there. One up, I think, yep. One up. And then if she goes to ease and finds English, and she finds Comp 1 and Comp 2 up here, so she'll click down on those two. You see them? Yep. And then she can go and she can add that to her list and she can view her list. So now she can know at NDSU that these classes count for these credits, okay? And you see Gen Ed, Gen Ed, Gen Ed, okay? So that's general education curriculum, okay? Most times, students need to take a public speaking or an oral communication class and typically 2 writing courses, okay? The general one, like Comp 1, and then more intensive in the writing 2 or Comp 2, okay? So all of these would transfer to NDSU, and then you could see that you would be done with 3 classes or 9 credits, okay? So if you're going to a college that we haven't talked about, check these systems. If they're not in there, they don't use transfer evaluation system or transferology, take that picture or just send a list of the college classes that you've taken and get in touch with one of the admissions reps, and they'll guide you through that and walk you through that process. Okay, a number of our students also take advanced placement. Advanced placement is a national program, so they've got kind of a one-stop here, but you could go onto this site. Again, this is also on our senior planning guide on our webpage. Yep, right here. So if Melissa clicked on that link right there, that would take you right there. So if she's in here, and if we went to go to University of Wisconsin, Eau Claire. Or pick one. Okay, so she's on Eau Claire. So she's gonna look at biology. So she's a student who took AP biology and she scored a 3 on the exam. She's gonna see that the score of 3 is gonna count as their, right up there, natural resources. Liberal education, I believe, is the E, which is like their general education. So that would count as 3 credits and probably a general requirement for a science class. Right below that, if she scored a 4, she would see that she would get 4 credits in there. So she would also get the class plus the lab, okay? So if she went down to chemistry, we also have AP chemistry here. And if she scored a 4 on the AP Chem test, she would get 5 credits. Okay, and it's going to show you what the class, what it would transfer as. Okay, so another great resource to be able to just look and find out how the test or the credit is going to transfer. Okay, so as I was saying, looking at the credits, whether you've taken 3 college credits or 6 or 42, whatever it is, you can go down and you can click on, we go to nursing just because I was just there with the student. She's going to go down to the nursing major. Scroll down there. Yep, and it's going to show the, were you in the course? Go up a second. This happens in our meetings too. Go through and you have to click around, but it's going to show you the courses. Scroll up to the top. Okay. Generally, you would be able to pull up and you would get a guide with the classes that you would need to take. And if we went back, remember we looked at Comp 1, Comp 2, and public speaking, you would see that before you get into that nursing major, Comp 1, Comp 2, and public speaking are all part of the generals that you would have to take, so you would have wiped those classes out of that need. Okay, you wouldn't have to take those anymore. So that's another area I typically go and look at with students if they know specifically what they're interested in pursuing for a college major. Right here is what we were looking for. Okay, so if we're looking at this, you see these are the general education requirements right here. So you would need Comp 1, Comp 2, public speaking. Quantitative reasoning is the math. So if you were a student who potentially was taking an AP statistics or AP pre-calc or college algebra, there could be a way to get rid of that math credit. So there's lots of ways to get rid of that. Again, maybe that frees up some time for an additional college major or a minor. Since I have nursing up, nursing isn't a program typically if you're going the 4-year college route with nursing. It's typically not a major where you're going to be able to get out of there faster than 4 years because it is so prescribed and because of how they do the application for those programs, okay? So with nursing and maybe other college programs, you have to be on their campus for that freshman year. Somewhere in your freshman year you would apply to go into that major or that program, and then typically in your sophomore year you would start. So as I was saying before, we're not trying to fast track everybody with all of these college credits, but again, maybe it simply frees up some space, or maybe you're taking 12 credits a semester instead of 15 or 18 your first couple of years. So the transition to college can be really big. So if we can eliminate maybe a class or two, maybe that helps students out as they're transitioning into life away from home, if that's the choice made. So. Okay, so financial aid, maybe that's what you're all here for. We don't have anything new to tell you right now, but we did send out again a message a week ago Sunday. Financial aid does not open until December this year. There is no date specifically, it's just December. So stay tuned. But I do want to take you back to our webpage and show you the financial aid. There is something you could do right now. And that's the FSA ID, the Federal Student Aid ID. So students, if you are a senior this year and you are planning to apply for financial aid in December when it opens, you will need an FSA ID. Parents, if your child is going to be going on to college, doesn't matter, 2-year, 4-year, whatever it is, you will also need an FSA ID. If you already have a child in college, you should already have an FSA ID, okay? But that's something you can do now. You don't have to wait until December to do that part. There are videos linked in there and handouts linked in there that you can go and access. Down on the step 2, the Ready, Set, FAFSA, there are some webinars, and I know when I hear webinar, I think, wow, that sounds super fun. But they are helpful. So some of these are passed. So like on the number 2, the Understanding Financial Aid, we're past October 10th, but they do have a recorded link in there. So you could go and watch some of these and access that information. If they're an upcoming date, you can go and register for that. And when schedules are super crazy, maybe you want to just go until all of it's passed and you can watch them all at once. Like binge financial aid, that sounds fun. So anyway, but that information is there. As we start to gain more information with financial aid, this is where you can access it, okay? And we'll send out reminders too as we get more information. We'll put more links up there. But this will be easier for you to hang on to than a packet of information. So when we're meeting with students, this is where we're pushing at least all of that financial aid information so that you can go there. So I wish I could tell you more than that right now for financial aid, but this is where we're going to send you for now. We have done financial aid nights in the past. We'll have to see where that all lands, but if we do, we'll send that out, or at least we'll link videos and stuff in here again, okay? All right, scholarships, okay. Let's do the school one, you're there. So scholarships, again, sometimes I have kids come in and they haven't set up a meeting. They're like, my parents made me come in here and I have to ask about scholarships. So I can always tell what that conversation has been like at home. So if you are on the school website, again, if you are not exactly sure what to land on, if you see cost and aid up at the top, that's typically where you would go, or if you're really not sure, you could just type in scholarships in the search bar. But Melissa's gonna go on cost and aid and click on scholarships, and we're back at the MSUM page. And then she's gonna scroll down and she sees scholarships, and she's gonna see freshman scholarships on there. So if she clicks on that, she's gonna see those automatic scholarships. So we talk about this a lot, and I think I'm gonna look at that. So many colleges have kind of a table laid out like this. We're gonna name the scholarship, they're gonna show the amount, they're gonna say the high school GPA you would need or the ACT composite score, okay? Many colleges are not using ACT like they used to, okay? And for some students that's fabulous, and it's still okay if you're a student who's really strong on that ACT score, okay? Many you don't even have to use your ACT score or a like an SAT score for admissions like you used to. I would say that really hit hard during COVID and it hasn't come back. So, and I would say that's true of many of the competitive colleges too, okay? So work hard in school. It can pay off, literally. So if you see, you can see down below, even to a 3.2, you can still get money on that. The distinguished one, the $14,000, that's $3,500 over the course of 4 years. So that's the automatic scholarship piece, okay? And then a lot of colleges do scholarship opportunities if you go on a visit, or if you have a parent or a relative that went to that college. So ask all of those questions. Some might be $500, but every little bit helps because college isn't cheap. Another thing you can do just on general scholarships is I always tell students, colleges have money out there. There are scholarship opportunities. Maybe they're not available right in your freshman year, but look at scholarship opportunities. Every year you're in college, you'll find scholarships that are specific to your college major. You'll find scholarships that are kind of just loose. Maybe you're a fabulous writer and there's a writing scholarship, or maybe there's something for an activity or something. There are scholarships available, so pay attention to that. Again, if you're not exactly sure, just do a generic search and search scholarships. Okay, if we look at our scholarship page under the College and Career Center page, we have under scholarships, we have just a sheet listing all of the scholarships that have come our way, okay? So we've got the name of the scholarship, the amount of the award, the deadline, the eligibility, and then how to apply. Some might say more information, or some might say apply. So if you just keep scrolling over, you'll have that. A lot of these are bigger regional scholarships or national scholarships right now. But I tell students, look at this once a week. It's going to take you 30 seconds to look at that and see if there's a new scholarship opportunity and whether or not you qualify for it. If you don't, move on and look the next week. I don't know, set an alarm or pin that page, whatever it is, to just do a really quick glance and find out if there's something new on that page for you. This will grow. There are not a lot of scholarships in there right now, but this will grow and grow and grow. And as we get into spring of the year, you're going to see a lot of local scholarship opportunities on here, okay? We have Honors Night in May on this stage, and thousands of dollars go out to our students each and every year through a variety of scholarship opportunities. One that we highlight on there is Alexandria Dollars for Scholars. This is a local chapter that's been around since the 80s. And thousands of dollars go out each year. I think last year was about like $134,000 to just Alexandria area high school students, okay? This information will also be shared in advisory period. It will also be on the scholarship page, so students will know about this. I've kind of generically put spring in there, but this typically becomes available for students in March, okay? So students, be thorough in this. Write down the activities you've been involved in, your volunteer experiences, your work experience. Those are points and they add up. Most of the scholarships are $1,000. And I had a student a couple years ago say, I only got $1,000. And I asked how long it took them to complete the application, and they said, I don't know, a couple hours. I said, well, that's $500 an hour. That's a pretty good payout. So even only $1,000 adds up and pays off. So the top scholarship through Dollars for Scholars is $10,000. Okay, so there's just tons and tons of money and lots of opportunity. Okay, the bottom ones listed on there are national scholarship search engines. Okay, sometimes students have time to go through those. Sometimes they don't have time. I usually say do the top ones first. Go and look at like that automatic scholarship part that we showed. That's there for you already, depending on your GPA or your ACT score. That money is there, okay? Look at those other scholarships on the campuses. Dollars for Scholars isn't there for you yet. That'll happen in March. You can search that scholarship page. And then if you have time, start to look at some of those other scholarships. I've had students do FastWeb before. These are all profile systems, so you would indicate your your information, like what are you interested in? If you're a student who's planning on pursuing architecture, then you could put that in, that's your area of study that you want to pursue. Or you could put down activities that you've been involved in and that maybe that you want to continue pursuing. There's scholarship money out there for really random things sometimes, which is great. So I say there's something out there for everybody, but it does take extra time. If you've written a college essay, save it and tweak it. Maybe you can use it for a scholarship, and maybe you can use it for the 12 scholarships you apply for, and you just have to tweak it a little bit for each scholarship. But FastWeb is one I've had students use. Raise Me, the one right below that, is kind of a cool scholarship opportunity. They're micro scholarships, okay? So I had a student a number of years ago, actually, she was out in the comments completing this. She's like, hey Ernest, I got another $50. But it goes with the micro scholarship is, for her it was like for every A you're gonna get a certain amount of money. Every A you've received over the course of your high school experience, or every B, or for every hour that you spent in an activity or a volunteer experience. Raise Me is one that you want to check with the college that you're planning to attend to see if they have that scholarship opportunity. It's not available at every college, okay? But it's kind of a cool one because it's things that you've already done on there. I'm going to point out the College Board one, that bottom one, that's advanced placement. So if you are a student who has participated in advanced placement classes, that's a great place to look too. Again, that profile system, so you would already have an account with advanced placement, and then you could go through on that scholarship piece on that one too. And scholarships are throughout the year, okay? There may be some that you can apply to right now. You're gonna start to maybe hit that more in December or January or early spring, but those are things that can happen really throughout the course of the year. So, I tell students lately, I said, if you remember nothing of me and you really need important information, go to the College and Career Center page. And hopefully you'll be able to find everything there, so. Okay. I think I maybe, I see it's 6:12. I thought it was only like 6 o'clock. Sorry, I thought I talked faster than I did. But Melissa and I are here if you have questions and want to linger around and ask. But we will keep you posted on the financial aid. But look at our page and hopefully that'll help you get some more information with things that you need. So I appreciate you coming. If you haven't been into conferences, you're more than welcome to head that way. So thanks for coming.